Good evening, guys. Hello. Good evening, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. I hope everyone is doing fine. And welcome to the YouTube channel of Pratham Test Prep. Myself, Juhi Sharma, and here we are with yet another current affairs session, which will cover the current affairs from the 25th November to the 27th of November. So I hope everybody is doing well. Delhi and the North India has good winters have started, right? So yeah, winters have started, and apart from that, we have our CLAT and AILET exam also around the corner. We are only left with 2 to 3 days for November to end. We'll enter December, so I hope everybody is prepped up, right? So yeah. Let's start with today's session, but before that, let me introduce myself to you. Hi, my name is Juhi. It is JUHISHARMA, and I take the current affairs session on Pratham Test Prep's channel, and this series is known as the Current Affairs SAMVAD, right? This series is known as the Current Affairs SAMVAD. We do have these sessions on every Monday and Friday at 8:30 p.m. So yes, book your slots every Monday and Friday 8:30 p.m. We have these sessions on Pratham Test Prep's channel. Now, if you are new over here, so let me just tell you that we do have vocab booster sessions too. We do have vocabulary sessions which happen thrice a week. That is every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. right? Every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday 8:30 p.m. we have vocabulary sessions. If you are law aspirant, we have a session called Legal Darpan by Sanjeet Bhatia sir, right? And these sessions gets conducted at 3 p.m. in the daytime on every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, MFW. Right. Apart from that, we do have daily newspaper analysis, right? Very, very important daily newspaper analysis by Ashish Bhargava sir, and it gets conducted from Monday to Friday at 11:30 a.m. Yes, every Monday to Friday 11:30 a.m. we have these newspaper analysis sessions too. And finally, we have some deep dive sessions as well, right? Where we pick up any topic, and these deep dive sessions gets conducted on every Thursday and Tuesday at 3 p.m. right? Every Thursday, Tuesday, 3 p.m. we have these deep dive sessions too. So yes, we have all these kind of sessions in Pratham. Apart from that, you have some form filling videos are there. We have important update videos, right? So all these things are there on Pratham Test Prep's channel. So make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, right? And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. Give this video a thumbs up, and yes, without wasting too much of time, let's quickly see the first news of the day. The first news we have is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Very, very important from examinations point of view. A very important news from the category Important Days. So this news is from the category Important Days. Very, very important. Good evening, Ananya. And what is this day all about? As the name suggests, International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women, right? No violence should be there against women. There is this International Day which is observed every year on the 25th of November. So the date is 25th of November every year. Now we do have a theme for this as well. The theme is Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. Yes, this is the theme. Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. Now, This particular day was adopted by UNGA, which is United Nations General Assembly, right? Which is the principal organ of the United Nations. As I've told you, it is one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations, UNGA, right? So UNGA adopted this resolution in 2000, in the year 2000, and they have kept 25th of November as International Day for the elimination of violence against women. So we have these 2 days, right? Now, apart from that, I have told you the theme. What is the theme? The theme is Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women. Now, there were these 3 sisters, right? Those were famous as Mirabal sisters. These were 3 political activists from the Dominican Republic, and they were brutally murdered in the year 1960, and in their honor this particular day is observed. Now, there is some important information about UNGA, about United Nations. So UNGA, United Nations General Assembly's headquarters is in New York, and the Secretary General of United Nations is Antonio Guterres. We have discussed this in one of our previous sessions too. Antonio Guterres is the Secretary General of the United Nations, and the headquarters is in New York, right? So yes, 3 things important. Number 1, International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women is observed on 25th of November. Second thing, that it is observed by the United Nations General Assembly. Third super important thing is that the theme of this particular day is Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women. So these are 3 important things that you need to know, right? Moving further to the next news, we have excuse me, it is the Constitution Day, which is also known as Samvidhan Divas. Why Samvidhan Divas? Because the Constitution in Hindi is known as Samvidhan. So Constitution Day is also known as Samvidhan Divas. Now, 26th of November we observe Constitution Day. Now, what is Constitution? Constitution is the book of law, right? You must have studied about it. You must know this. And what is Constitution? Constitution is a book of law or rules and regulations. It is a book of law or rules and regulations, right? Now, known as Samvidhan Divas. Now, what is the theme for this particular day? The theme for this particular year is India, the mother of democracy. The theme is India, the mother of democracy. Now, we know that there are 2 days, okay, which are very, very important. The first day is when our Constitution got adopted, okay. So there are 2 things. Firstly, the Constitution got adopted on 26th November 1949, right? Constitution got adopted on 26th November 1949, but it came into effect, or it came into force on 26th January 1950, which we observe as Republic Day. Alright, so 26th January 1950, our Constitution came into force, our Constitution came into effect, and 26th November 1949, our Constitution got adopted. Okay, so make sure to not get confused between these 2 things. Okay, now our Constitution took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame or draft our Constitution, right? It took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame or draft our Indian Constitution, and the father of Indian Constitution, or the father of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution, is Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, right? Now, very important, that which ministry is responsible for this? This comes under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, now Constitution, what is the value of Constitution amongst the citizens? These things are supremely important, and that's the reason why we observe this particular day. Okay, now important things, these two things I have told you, adopted and came into force. You have to focus on these two things and do not get confused between these two dates. Now, what is the difference between these two? The first thing is 26 November 1949. On this day our constitution was adopted, as in after 2 years, 11 months and 18 days our constitution was made, right? And the date was 26th of November 1949. Okay, now second thing is came into force because we had marked 26 January as our first Independence Day. If you remember, first Independence Day was marked when? हमने बोला था कि हम 26 जनवरी 9 को हम अपना फर्स्ट इंडिपेंडेंस डे मार्क करेंगे. जब हम हिस्ट्री पढ़ते हैं, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री पढ़ते हैं, तो क्या हम वहां पे पढ़ते हैं, देयर वाज दिस वन सेशन ड्यूरिंग दिस लाहौर सेशन. क्या हुआ था, हमने बोला था कि 26 जनवरी 1930 को हमने कहा था कि ये हमारा फर्स्ट इंडिपेंडेंस डे होगा. हम पूर्ण स्वराज स्टैब्लिश करेंगे, वी विल स्टैब्लिश पूर्ण स्वराज. ओके, हमारा फर्स्ट इंडिपेंडेंस डे. बट टेल मी गाइस, क्या हमको 1930 26 जनवरी को इंडिपेंडेंस मिला था? नहीं. सो टू मार्क दिस पर्टिकुलर डे, टू मार्क दिस डे इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया, हमने क्या करा, हमने वी वेटेड फॉर another 1.5 months from November to January, and we did what? We actually marked 26 January date and we celebrate that day as a Republic Day. I hope it is clear to everybody. Moving further, we have the third news of the day, that is Gor Shakti 2022. Now, what is this Gor Shakti? It is a bilateral exercise. Okay? It is a bilateral exercise. Now, what do you mean by bilateral? Bilateral means between two nations. I have told you that we do have a YouTube session on Pratham Test Prep's channel on this special series wherein I have covered the military exercises of India. So we have certain type of military exercises. We have bilateral military exercises, right? We have trilateral. We have multilateral military exercises, and also we have one more thing which is known as the domestic exercises. Now, what is the difference between all these? Domestic is between the forces of a country, as in अगर इंडिया की नेवी, आर्मी, ये सारे लोग आपस में एक एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, that is a domestic exercise, right? Bilateral is between two nations. Okay, trilateral and multilateral, it is more than two nations, right? When it is between more than two nations, in that case we say that it is bilateral or multilateral military exercise, right? Now, since this is a bilateral military exercise, what does it mean? This means that this is conducted between two nations. And what are those two nations? Those two nations are what? India and Indonesia, right? The two nations are India and Indonesia, and henceforth we say that it is a bilateral military exercise, right? Now, when we have talked about this bilateral military exercise, we should know that this exercise is about what? So this exercise edition, it was the 9th edition of this exercise. ठीक है, 9th edition था आपका इस exercise का, and ये जो था just to understand the special forces of both the armies, that is the Indian army and the Indonesian army, right? So to understand it. Now, one more thing which I have told you, that whenever you are doing any type of military exercise, you need to know the टाइप ऑफ एक्सरसाइज. आपको एक्सरसाइज का टाइप पता होना चाहिए, वेदर इट इज बायलैटरल, मल्टीलैटरल, व्हाट. सेकेंडली, यू शुड नो दी लोकेशन, दैट वेयर द एक्सरसाइज इज कंडक्टेड एट, बिकॉज इससे बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. सो दिस एक्सरसाइज got conducted in Indonesia in the year 2022. So 2022 में इसका 8th edition था. Okay, 2022 had the 8th edition, इसका 8th edition था. और कहाँ पे आपका हुआ? ये आपका हुआ इंडोनेशिया में. इंडोनेशिया में एक जगह है जिसका नाम है सांगा बुआना, एंड वहां पे आपका इसका एडिशन था 8th एडिशन इन द ईयर 2022. हाउएवर जो इसका फर्स्ट एडिशन था 2012 में वो आपका इंडिया में हुआ था, सेकेंड एडिशन 2013 में हुआ था इंडोनेशिया में था, थर्ड एडिशन आपका हुआ था फिर से इंडिया में हुआ था, बट जो 8th एडिशन है वो आपका कहाँ हुआ, वो आपका हुआ इंडोनेशिया में, राइट. एंड हु इज द चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ? चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ इज जनरल Anil Chauhan, right? CDS is General Anil Chauhan. I hope it is clear. Moving on to the next news, we have Doing Business in India Report 2022. Now, ये जो आपकी न्यूज़ है, this is from the category Rankings and Reports. एक कैटेगरी है जिसको हम बोलते हैं Rankings and Reports करके, जिसमें आपके सारे इंडेक्स वगैरह आते हैं, right? So, doing business in India, मतलब how open India is when it comes to doing business, right? So that is what that is given in this particular report, right? So ये जो रिपोर्ट है, कोई भी अगर आप रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो, 2-3 पॉइंटर्स है जो आपको हमेशा करने हैं, हमेशा मैं बताती हूँ दैट नेम ऑफ द रिपोर्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए क्या है, या इंडेक्स का, राइट. दूसरा आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि ये रिलीज या पब्लिश कौन किया है. Very important that this report or index is released or published by whom. Then if it is a global report, in that case you have to know India's rank. You should know India's rank if it is global report, and if it is not a global report, it is a national report. In that case you should know, or in any case if it is global or national, you should know at least top 3 ranks. So these are the important things, important pointers that you should know, right? So Doing Business in India Report 2022 was released by United Kingdom's India Business Council, which is known as UKIBC, right? And the first time it got started in the year 2015. So 2015 was the first edition, and 2022 observed the 8th edition. मतलब this was the 8th time the report got published. Okay, कहाँ पे है? UKIBC के हेडक्वार्टर्स ऑफकोर्स लंदन में होंगे, यूके में होंगे, राइट. मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर कौन है? केविन मैकॉल. एंड रैंकिंग क्या है, कौन से स्टेट में बिजनेस करना आसान है? सो टॉप पर वी हैव महाराष्ट्र, रैंक 1, सेकंड पे गुजरात, थर्ड पे चंडीगढ़, फोर्थ पे हरियाणा. सो दीज आर द रैंकिंग्स जहां पर आपका इजीली बिजनेस हो सकता है. ओके, now moving further to the next news, we have Asian Rich List 2022. Asian Rich List 2022, of course सी बात है. Again, this is you can keep this in index, या आप इसको इंडेक्स में रख सकते हो, राइट, और आप इसको रैंकिंग्स में भी पुट कर सकते हो. इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ रैंकिंग्स. एशिया रिच लिस्ट. सो लॉन्च किसने किया था? जो एशियन रिच लिस्ट है ये आपकी लॉन्च हुई थी, एनुअली लॉन्च होती है एट द एशियन बिजनेस अवार्ड्स. एंड यूके में 101 एशियंस इन द यूके. द लिस्ट profiles that the list has the wealthiest 101 Asians in the यूनाइटेड किंगडम्स. अब ऑफ कोर्स सी बात है, बहुत ज्यादा न्यूज में थे ऋषि सुनाक एंड उनकी वाइफ, डॉटर ऑफ मिस्टर नारायण मूर्ति, right, and Sudha Murthy ji, who is a very well renowned author. Mr. Narayan Murthy, he is the co-founder of Infosys. So Akshata Murthy, right? So Akshata Murthy and Rishi Sunak, the husband and wife duo, Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdoms, they are on rank 17. And you would be surprised to know that the list, this 101 Asian in the UK list, was topped by the Hinduja family group, right? And this is for the 8th year that they are on that particular spot, right? The Hinduja family group, for the 8th year they are on that particular spot. And if they ask, if the question asks you that the biggest increase in wealth, which family saw the biggest increase in wealth, so that is Shri Prakash Lohia and his family, they saw the biggest increase in their wealth, right? So you don't need to know the numbers, just know the name, Mr. Prakash Lohia. And the first time this list was released in the year 2009. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. And moving on to the last news of the day, we have Qatar signed world का longest gas supply deal with China. Now, Qatar जो है वर्ल्ड का लार्जेस्ट LNG सप्लायर है, राइट। चाइना जो है वो वर्ल्ड का लार्जेस्ट एलएनजी इंपोर्टर है, ओके। एंड कतर और चाइना ने ये दोनों डील्स क्रैक कर ली है, ये दोनों डील्स साइन कर ली है। इट इज द लॉन्गेस्ट गैस सप्लाई डील विद चाइना जो कि कतर ने साइन की है इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ एलएनजी इंडस्ट्री, राइट। नाउ LNG we know liquefied natural gas it is, and कतर ने 27 ईयर नेचुरल गैस सप्लाई डील जो है चाइना के साथ साइन करी है। लॉन्गेस्ट गैस सप्लाई का अग्रीमेंट है ये फॉर 27 ईयर्स। चाइना इज द इम्पोर्टर, वर्ल्ड का लार्जेस्ट इम्पोर्टर है, और जो सप्लायर है जिसके पास बहुत ज्यादा ये है दैट इज कतर। दोनों ने आए और दोनों ने वर्ल्ड का लॉन्गेस्ट लार्जेस्ट डील साइन कर ली है। एंड चाइना इज द फर्स्ट कंट्री जिसने कुछ ऐसा डील जो है वो साइन करा है। ऑफ कोर्स सी बात है, चाइना में बहुत ज्यादा दे नीड एनर्जी, दे हैव द ग्रोइंग नीड्स ऑफ एनर्जी, एंड दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई दे नीडेड दिस पर्टिकुलर deal, right? And you should know the Prime Minister of Qatar. Qatar के Prime Minister is Sheikh Khalid bin Khalifa bin Abdelaziz Al Thani, right? So Prime Minister of Qatar. And with this, we have covered all the important news which had happened from the past 2 days, that is from the 25th to the 27th of November. Thank you so much guys for staying tuned. Do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Pratham Test Prep's channel if you haven't done already. I would wish all of you a very good luck, all the best for your pre-boards. I know the pre-boards have started of many of you, right? So just keep smiling, keep motivated, keep revising your things, right? Keep yourself motivated. That motivation is very, very much required. And yes, I shall be seeing you super soon in the next session, that is on Friday. Till then, take care, bye bye, stay safe, and this is Gor Sharma signing off.